You got YouTubers who know nothing about boxing, training for like 6 weeks, and they're having fights, and they're attracting millions of viewers, and they're getting paid millions too. So, what's wrong with it? Is there anything wrong with it? I don't know.
I made this point the other day on a group. It's called prize fighting. It's
Yes,
always been about generating the most money.
yes,
There are world titleists, pound for pound boxers that are right up there who no one's ever heard of.
mm.
But if a couple of YouTubers go at it for 3 rounds, everyone's going to tune in and watch because they've got the name. It's not the greatest fighters or the most skilled fighters that generate the most money. It's the people with the most
I mean,
notoriety.
as long as um, the sport isn't disrespected, where okay, I can understand that other people from other places like YouTube or whatever, they can train and they can have boxing matches, but the public should not get it confused. They shouldn't try to compare these people to real boxers. You know what I mean? And I can see that there's a bit of resentment as well from real boxers against these people because they're making so much money, whereas the real boxers are struggling. You know, they're picking up small paychecks fight after fight, and these guys are coming out of nowhere with they have like 1 million followers or whatever, and the promoters are like, okay, let's do it, and it happens.
Yeah, boxing is one of those sports that is, I think, totally governed by money and how much money you can make. It sort of reminds me of the way that wrestling,
Mm,
professional wrestling,
yeah.
used to actually be a sport until it just descended into being so corrupt and so fixed. People kept it
Mm,
as sports entertainment. I
right.
can't imagine a scenario where you and I get 11 people together to have a kickabout and it makes more revenue than the World Cup. But that's what happens when celebrities have a boxing match.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's the
What
era we're living
about
in. It's the era we're
that is
living in.
the yeah, that's it. And you can't say anything
You've
these
got
days.
you've got people who have zero talent. They probably haven't worked towards anything, you know,
Yeah,
in their life, and
they've got it
they,
all. And then look at us, we're the opposite.
yeah,
What about some possible crossover matches? We had Conor McGregor lose to Floyd Mayweather in the ring. That Oscar De La Hoya
yeah.
has said to Conor McGregor, "Bring it on," and Conor has said, "I accept the money. I mean the challenge." I'd love to get beaten up by Oscar De La Hoya for millions of pounds. And I made the point again online. Some people didn't get the joke. Um, Usain Bolt would beat Conor McGregor in a 100-meter sprint.
Right.
How can we expect Conor McGregor, who is from a different sport where they also punch, to compete at world level in boxing? And we don't do it in other sports. We wouldn't expect him to go to the Olympics and win gold in the judo. You wouldn't expect him to win the wrestling, which is also an aspect of mixed martial arts. Why is there some sort of myth that an MMA champion can just go into boxing and win, and vice versa? You wouldn't expect it. Although the boxer may carry with him a lucky punch if he goes into the boxing ring,
Mm. I think because
into the octagon rather.
you have a huge percentage of people who are following it are casual fans,
Mm,
and they really don't. All they want is entertainment. They want the
mm,
highlight reel. They want something. They want an occasion. They want some. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
for them, if you get like two, let's say for example, you get two boxers, for example, who aren't world famous celebrities or whatever, but you know that they're the best boxers in the world, and they fight. Generally, those guys they probably won't even sell tickets because people they don't know who they are. I mean, they want the pop star, that the person who
Mm.
appeals to pop culture, right? That's what they want. And McGregor, because of his personality, a lot of people they like his behavior, how he acts, and it is pop culture, and it's all about the money, Jules. What can you do?
It is, and I sometimes wonder if even the disrespect that is shown to other fighters and the back and forth that they have? Is it just for selling the tickets? I've always held up martial arts as an example of how you can become honorable and gain respect. And then martial arts at the top level seems to be void of all that because these people let it go out the window.
Yeah, I mean, when McGregor come on the scene, I mean, in the beginning, okay, I mean, me personally, I found it funny, and I thought, okay, this is a bit entertaining, whatever. But then it's like, where's the line? I mean, there is no line anymore, you know, and it's like the further he goes past that line, the more people go behind him, and the more people want to know about him, and the more people want to watch him or pay to watch him, you know. So it's like, uh, this is what they're getting to now, you know. This is what they're getting to.
It's like in a school situation when bad behavior is rewarded, you get more bad behavior. It is a shame. And as you were saying about boxing and the names that are known, some of the best boxers who have ever lived, we may not know their names because they were competing in the Olympics only, because they were Cubans, and Cuba forbids its athletes to accept a wage and get involved in prize fighting. And I understand and respect that, and I think it is an honourable way, but it's all those what ifs and what might have been. And even the Soviet Union, it's no surprise that as soon as the Iron Curtain came down, all these Eastern European, Soviet bloc and Russian champions cropped up all of a sudden. They'd been there all the time, they'd been training all the time, but they hadn't been involved in the prize fighting. So just shows you
boxing is prize fighting. So
is.
And I remember a Cuban boxer. I can't remember who it was exactly. I think it was the gentleman who turned down the fight to fight Mike Tyson. Was it Felix Savon?
Okay.
And he was offered 10 million, I believe, to fight Tyson. And he said, I would rather have the love of 10 million people than $10 million. And yeah, it's like not everything is about money. And he is probably like royalty back in Cuba anyway. You know, so
some things are worth more than money.
Yes. Because for him,
should have offered 20 million.
For him to accept the 10 million, he would have to obviously, what'd you say, when they jump ship over into America.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously some of them have. Ortiz has.
Yes.
He's getting on a bit. There's a man who can still compete in his 50s. But we don't know.
I mean, he's fighting at the highest level. I mean, he could perform at the highest level. So what's the problem?